Hello, I'm sorry. I was busy finishing off some Kickstarter posts. Well, I didn't mean to do that. Well, that's studio mode. That's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. Okay. Yeah, I was working on some posts so that people know that uh all of our files have been approved for Icepegiu, and printing can now commence officially. We were having a bit of troubles. Uh, sorry. Things are confusing. Reflector. I got my iPad streaming. Yeah, I wanted to do that, and I wanted to tell people who somehow still exist, if at all, on the 9 point Kickstarter that we are doing new pages now. We are caught up. Brand new pages of 9 point have now dropped. They have hit the Patreon. Actually, I don't think they've hit it exactly this minute. They will be tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, and that means uh, that we good. Okay, we're good. We're good. iPad. Yes. Okay. Cool. Do. Window capture. Come on, iPad. Yeah. Whoa. Okay, we're good. Um, Transition. Oh, we did it. Hello. See? Official. And we're live recording now. I did all of my recording yesterday. Thank you for bearing with me and seeing all that. That was great. It's great to have you all for that. Helped my confidence a little bit. I suffered from a bit of lacking confidence after the stream. I'll be real. Unrelated to the stream, man, life is stressful, basically. It, life is hecking stressful, and I don't know. My life on the stream. I'm just checking to see that everything is good. We're good? Yeah, I think we're good. I think I'm live. I just started weird. So yeah, we're back to the white, adding whites to pages. We are so close. We're so dang close. We now have less than 100 pages to go. That's close, right? Less than 100. Ugh, I tried to set up things nice, and I don't like them. Yeah, I was working on some of this earlier today. Not sure how to hold a pencil anymore. Oh, I am hiding chat. If chat is... Well, chat wouldn't even be saying anything because I can see chat on the, what's it called? What's that thing called? OBS. I can see chat on OBS, so I know that chat isn't saying anything. So we're good. We're surviving. We're thriving, even. I hate when I do that. I hate when I flip it and then I have to move this out of the way because I can't see anything. My god. I'm a mess. I'm a menace. I'm a mess. Let's go. Let's do this. So I realized that I can totally update Magpie 4 times a week once everything is said and done, because that means I have 2 years of I have a 2 year buffer if I do 4 days a week, which I think I can keep up with. I think I can keep up with a 2 year buffer. I don't know about you guys. Feels legit. Ursula's almost finished some new 9-point pages, which means that I'll have even more stuff to work on going forward, and maybe we can take a break from doing all these whites, but I really want to get Magpie done. I don't imagine it'll take more than a few months. At most. I don't think it'll even take a year to get 400 colored pages. That feels doable to me. I don't know about you guys. I am live, right? I don't care if like we're quiet today. I get that. I just need to make sure I'm actually live. Yeah, I think I'm live. Yes, you are live? Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's fine if y'all are quiet. That's perfectly fine. I've been having a lot of trouble with YouTube lately, where I stream to absolutely no one, and it's not because no one's there, it's because my stream something happens to my stream lately. It's just been really weird. So that's good confirmation. I figured as much because I'm really hecking late today, and I've been really bad about scheduling in advance. But we're good. That's good to know. I'm doing my gosh darndest. Yeah, I'm excited to get YouTube videos out again. Like, that'll be good. I wish I could make things, like, cleaner and flashier, but I just don't know how, guys. It's not even that I don't know how. It's just so much work. So much effort. I don't know how people do it. Okay, I know how people do it. They probably don't also keep up with 5 webcomics. That's a lot. Okay, so before this, I was so annoyed with money. Money sucks. I hate money. I hate living in a world where, you need money to live, right? Um, it's just been stressful because, like, obviously, Ursula was laid off. She's getting, approached by companies and stuff now, which is cool. I figured as much. I figured after the summer holidays, things would start picking up again, and it seems to be the case. However, it's just frustrating that I've been working on comics forever, and I think not everyone, most people feel this. I've just been working my ass off on comics, and I can see like all of like the work that I do. And it is like no money compared to oh my god. So own a um I own an attached house. So I have a renter, And I hate that I can just own a house and make more money off of that than all this work that I put onto comics. And it's just like I am incredibly fortunate to have that. Um and I don't know. Like I wouldn't be able to it's it's crazy cuz like I wouldn't be able to like renting costs so much more than buying a house. Like having a mortgage, right? But it's just crazy. And I don't love that. I don't love Yeah, I genuinely hate that. And yeah, money is just BS. But at the same time, I'm just like incredibly um envious of people who are successful in that aspect. And like I'm usually not I usually don't feel that way, but I think it's just because things have been stressful and like I just been putting so much work in. Um and like I understand why all my comics and YouTube and stuff stagnated. Um but that doesn't make it it's just like you can't take a couple of years off, man. There's just so much out there. But none of it's like the end of the world or anything. It's just something that I guess is on my mind. I don't know. It's all because I tried to look at Webtoon TikTok one time and now my my YouTube shorts are all messed up showing me Webtoon stuff. Yeah. And I always feel weird complaining about this stuff on top of the fact that like I know a lot of people like aren't even in my position with their comics. It's kind of like that thing with like you know, like how people on Instagram like it makes you feel bad about yourself. Like that's the whole thing about Instagram. Like I feel that way about comics sometimes where I feel like it's because everyone's always posting their success and stuff. Like they don't post the struggle, the grind. Um or at least I guess I wouldn't fixate in on that. Hmm. And I think I just have to say it because, like, it's just gonna get in the way of, like, having a chill time on streams if I don't get it out. But I also don't want to become like just a complainer. Because I do complain quite often, I'll be real. And the thing is, there's plenty of people that are in my shoes too, because there's like tons of webcomic artists that I used to know that have like dropped off the face of like the internet. Like I don't know what happened to them at all. Um and I'm sure some of them must have had the same like struggles as me, like gotten hit by the same thing. And then there's the whole genre that I'm in, which is like horror, which is not a very lucrative place to be. Okay, so that's kind of like just like a loose hair, I think. Yeah, it's just like a strand. Trixie's mom is so pretty. What the frick? I mean, I guess Trixie's pretty. Oh well. I'm just gonna keep posting and just keep having a good time where I can, and it'll all work out. And one day I will look back at this time in my life, and it will just be in the past. And there'll be a lot of good parts about it, because there's always... Because I got to hang out with Ursula so much because she doesn't have a job, and we've been enjoying that with each other, which is good. And eventually, like, when she does get a job, it's gonna be like, back to the grind kind of thing. Yeah. Hopefully I'll get money again, and then I'll do another anthology, and it'll pop off. I'm thinking about doing, like, another were creature anthology, but I don't know how hard this would hit. I want to do, like, another queer werewolf thing, but I don't want to focus on wolves. I want it to be, I want it to be, like, identity-based. So I want to call it Where What, and it will be a were creature anthology. And then we can do fun parallels to queerness and a vast array of were creatures. But I don't know. I don't know if that will hit. Moonlight hit. People like that. Um, Whereas, like, Ice Beiju did well, but, like, printing costs so much that we just barely made it. What is this square in her hair? What is that? I don't understand what's happening there. I guess it's just like the underside of her hair. Dang, it's a quiet day. Oh my god. My regulars are out to lunch. I wonder if the notification went out. Oh well. Bonjour, bonjour. Bon cure. Bonjour, comment ça va? Bonsoir. C'est nuit. No? What would it be? Would it be C'est nuit pour moi? Do you... I always forget. There's always like... You always gotta do like so many... I don't know if it's... Le nuit? No. I don't think so. I don't know. Je ne comprends... je ne comprends... Je comprends peu de français. But how are you tonight? Is what I mean. Hello, Kizulf. Hello, hello. How are you tonight? I've been talking to the void mostly. Not the void. I shouldn't. There's chatters and then there's like the equally lovable regulars who are silent, who I appreciate. And I understand because I am one of those people with most streams. I'm doing great. How you doing? I'm doing all right. There's a little bit of stress I was talking about. Things are a little stressy. But it's just continued stress about money stuff and you know. I was saying that it's frustrating to work so hard on comics and make no money off of it. And it's extra frustrating because I am also someone who owns a an apartment. Like my house that I live in has an apartment that I, you know, rent out cuz otherwise I'm just holding on to it and no one lives in it. But like I just own a building and I make what would be like a livable wage for me in the past, like my minimum wage, like I make my minimum wage just owning a building versus the hours and hours I spend toiling away at comics, and it's just I hate the world. And you know, like it's it's crazy. Cause like I was very fortunate. Cause I've never had a landlord before. Um I lived in a a housing co-op. So um there was like it was like a community ownership thing kind of, you know, like you become like a member of it, and it was like a large percent of it was like subsidized housing. Mine wasn't, like I wasn't on subsidized housing or whatever. I just lived with like 5 million people we crammed into the house. um if it comforts you, here in Brazil where I live, it's impossible to live out of comics even if you're really famous. No, I can believe it. I 100% believe it. It it just sucks. It just sucks. Uh and that's basically the long and the short of it. It just kind of sucks. Like I live in a house in the middle of nowhere. That's why it's such a cheap house, because it's nowhere important. Um and I moved into it because like basically, okay, so basically everything lined up in my life. Um, so like the sucky, terrible thing happened of Ursula's grandmother passing away, and that um meant we could get a down payment for a house, and we kind of were like it was cheaper than our rent to like get the house. Well, it was. Since then our mortgage rate has gone up like crazy because we got like the flex whatever. I don't know. I'm not very money literate. I'll be real. Yeah, and now we're just kind of coasting and trying to get a job because she got laid off and employment insurance is stupid. But it'll all be okay. Like it's it's just frustrating in general. Yeah. And we got this house for like a steal on top of things. Oh my god, it was crazy because they were trying to sell it in the winter, which is like a hard time to sell a house or whatever. And like it went on sale because the owner passed away. Um and it was a house like really close to my mom's house. So she joked that we should buy it, and then we were like, wait, maybe we should. And then we did, which is crazy. Um but yeah, so like, oh my god, there was so much fighting because it was like split between like a bunch of siblings, like the children of the woman who passed away, and they were bratty and entitled AF. They tried to steal our stove. What's worse is they threatened the person living here because like I said, like we rent out the other side of the house because it's like an apartment, an attached apartment to it, right? And they were upset with him because they were like, this, you are the reason like we weren't able to get as much money as we wanted out of the house. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, and they were like saying that we're gonna evict him, and um I hope you're happy or whatever. But like, if you want to do that, like you have to, there's ways to remove people. like like usually what you would do is you would offer some amount of money for someone to move. Yeah, it was crazy. And in our like agreement, like we owned a bunch of the appliances. It was like written down, and then like my parents saw them trying to like take them, and they were like, those aren't yours. The house isn't even theirs." No, it was their mother's. And then they they got um they inherited it, and then they had to kind of split it. And like he's a crazy good tenant. It's the worst. Like he does way more than he should. Like, yeah. But it's also like way lower rent than anywhere else. Um and everyone's like, jack up the price. I'm like, y'all are crazy. For one, illegal. You can only increase it by certain amounts. You can't just, oh my god, yeah. People wild. I know that heirlooms are usually called trouble, even though when there isn't the need for any trouble, like a house in the middle of nowhere, as he said. I mean, yeah, like it's still obviously money, right? Because you know, she owned the house, so like it's still like a couple $100,000, right, to split amongst them, and they wanted it for Christmas. Like I get that. But like I would just be like, I mean, the whole thing started because like Ursula's grandmother passed away, and she got like inheritance from it, and like she didn't like expect any. from that. But she took good care of her grandma. Yeah, but sometimes it's more greed than anything. Yeah, that's mostly what it is. It was just crazy how entitled they were. It was funny that their real estate agent was like trying to like convince us to go back on our deal because they're putting a dump in here. And I know this town because my mom lives here, and they have been protesting this dump for as long as she's lived here, and that's like a decade at this point, honestly. And the dump isn't happening. The dump isn't happening, and if it did, it doesn't matter because this place already smells like manure. Like worse than manure. Oh, I hate compost. Oh, the smell of like rotten potatoes and stuff. Like I can smell it. I can smell the slurry. It's agriculture stinky, you know? Imagine having enough wealth to inherit. I couldn't, but now I can. I couldn't early in my life. I could never imagine such a thing, but now I definitely can. Most of that is because of Ursula's family marrying into a family that has um, some amount of finances. Oh my gosh. Oh, so hi Tuesday. Yeah, but like all this stuff is like why I don't want to complain because like I know I'm like incredibly lucky, and like it's obviously stressful to ask for help, but I have people I can ask for help. Like if I can't meet the mortgage until like later, like we're never gonna miss a mortgage payment and go into like foreclosure or whatever. Um, because um I got a lot of friends and close family to help me out. And that's just wild. Yeah. Well, my whole issue with this is like I don't like the I don't like housing as a commodity at all. You know, like you should just be able to have a house and live there. It shouldn't cost all of your being, let alone like the amount that it does. Like housing is ridiculous. Why it costs this much to be in a box, you know? Like I had like landlords and stuff growing up, but like in my adult life I've never had one. And it worked fine. I liked the co-op. I want the co-op, but like you don't have to pay for it, you know? Like everyone just like takes care of the property because they live on the property, you know? the fun little community gardens and stuff. It's just really cute. Oh, how is everyone else here? How are y'all? What is everyone else thinking about? I want to talk about other things. I had a good time yesterday. I'm really happy that I got all that recording done. Ursula's gonna edit it, and then I can have videos going up. I think that will be cool. I think that'll be neat. I think that'll be spiffy. Oh, did we make it to the end? No. I think it's the blood moon. Oopsies. Oh, spooky. Boom, 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 boom. I have to make some books, do some Kickstarters. That would help out my money, probably. Hmm. I just want to get a bunch of Magpie pages done so that I can start updating. I really want to get like a crazy update schedule. In my mind, that will fix all my problems in life, as if I have a crazy update schedule. That's the dopamine I need. I haven't been keeping up with Sovereign. It's just, I don't like what I have posted so far, so I'm just gonna start again, I think. How crazy we talking? Absurd. So with Magpie, the comic I'm drawing right now, if I have enough inked that I have a 2-year buffer if I do 4 pages a week, which I think is amazing. And I think that's what I want to do. I want to do at least 4 pages a week with Magpie. And then I want to get to 14 pages a week with Avo. Because they're easy to buffer too. But then 9 Point's going to stay at 2 pages a week. Because 9 Point is insane to draw. And I'm going to keep Pretty Mouth going very slow because there's only so many pages and I don't want to rush it to the ending, even though I've completed Pretty Mouth. I need to take time to verticalize all of it and clean up the pages, but other than that, Pretty Mouth is done. And that's two comics a week. Or 2 pages? Or is it 3? I forget. I don't know. So if we think about it, if I get to... Okay. 14 with Avo. 21... Sovereign. If I get to 2 with Sovereign, 2 with Pretty Mouth, that's 4. 4 with Magpie, that's 8. And then 2 with 9 points, 10. So 24. I want to get to 24 pages a week. That's the schedule I want. That's the comic schedule I'm aiming for. And then I'll slacken it, or I'll tighten it. And then I'll tighten it as we chew up the buffer. Your hand's gonna fall out. I mean, okay. In my defense, Sovereign almost done. Pretty Mouth is all done. So 2 pages a week already exist. And once I finish Magpie, which I will do within the month or so, it's going to be what is it? And then I have like 2 years of buffer, and I just kind of want to go through it. I wanna catch up to where we were, but I want to give some time to get new pages done. 2 pages of 9 point is just kind of reasonable so far. It's been not too bad. And then there's Avo, which is kind of just because the thing is, like, Avo is like when I talk about pages, like Avo pages are like this, like they're not like 7 of them is like 7 pictures, so they're not that hard. Like this is like 100 pages, and it took like 2 weeks to get 100 pages done. Plus however long it takes me to color them. These ones, no. These ones take like hours a piece, so we're gonna not do that. It takes me about an hour to fully flat a simple one of these. Flat and color it. So we're talking 400-ish hours, give or take, maybe 500. 500 hours of work, and we can get 400 pages done. What do you think? I think it's doable. I think we need to not be doubters. I think I can get to the 24 page a week schedule. And this is why. And maybe I can get a few viewers. Half the work is freaking posting. Posting takes forever, man. Except on Comic Fury. Comic Fury, amazing place to post. So simple. Literally just load it in and it's done. It's like push shoe fast. Meanwhile, every other frickin' site is tedious as hell. I'm not doubting you. Trying to keep your hands where they belong. At the ends of my arms, yeah. Ugh. We'll see. I think I'm gonna get to it, though. I don't... Like, just at the rate I'm going now, where my hands have not fallen off, and I've not been going too hard at things. Like, I've still been, like, spending, like, hours just writing and not... Oh no, we forgot to color in Margie on this one. Spent so much time doing that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But, like, I think once I have all of these done, like, I think it'll be fine to go hard, man. Oh, I love pages with just Amanda and her mom. So easy. I just need to stave off the desire to do that before I'm finished. That was the problem with, that's the problem that's happened with, Sovereign, I wasn't finished. The main problem is, like, I didn't realize how crunchy Sovereign looked until I got through it. So I'm gonna take my time and re-release that properly. But I have to ink it, so that'll take forever. So there's 22 pages a week. I'm not sure about Avo too, as well. I'll check in. Oh, we love a page like this. My goodness. Done. Even though this technically is more work, because, you know, I'm still gonna have to flat the rest of her skin tone, but still, you know, let me have it. I'm excited to get more 9-point to work on. Because that's a lot more fun than this is. Like, I know eventually I will not be able to do 24 pages a week. Like, it'll slow down to be, like, 7 pages a week or something. Probably still more than that with Avo, but, like, I'm hoping by then, the following has solidified. Like, I feel like if you have, like, long, consistent updates at the beginning, you can build up your following, and then they kind of are a little more patient by the end because they have, like, a bulk to read and obsess over. Like, that's my thought on the matter. Those teeths. She's not gonna be your witch, gosh dang it. I'm just excited to get through all of like laying the whites down, because like that then the streams will be a little more interesting. I can mostly only flat though on live streams because by gum, like it's so hard to like do anything really thinky. So thankfully I have a lot to flat. And I understand that because Ursula tried to stream, but she just went silent after a bit because like it's hard to like think. And most of her stuff is like very thinky now because I'm doing all the tedious stuff. I really want to start working on Avo Book 2 again, or Book 3. I want to do that for NaNoWriMo this year. I want to get Draft 2 of Book 3 completed. I think that would be cool. It's going to take longer than November, though, because it is, like, way more than 50,000 words. Well, at least it should be. But I think if I start earlier than that, like, I could come up with something, maybe, possibly. I don't know. My god, we've gotten through so many pages, guys. Oh, we're into the 300s. That means we have like 80 something left. That feels so close. That feels so much more doable. Pushoo. I have no clue how I did Pretty Mouth as fast as I did. My god, because Pretty Mouth is drawn the exact same way as this. Maybe it's just there's less characters. I think that's probably it. That's why there's probably way less whites. Because like way less white to color in. But like I finished them in like a week. It was crazy. And that was like 250 pages. Like I did that in a few weeks, so I don't know. I've slowed down in my old age. Month 5, that's where you slow down. Honestly, I wouldn't do it again because I did start to hurt myself. I did cause myself injury. Honestly, okay. I don't injure myself drawing often. I tend to stop when I feel pain. That's why I've stopped doing 7-hour streams because it was not good for me. But writing, oh my god, I ruin myself writing sometimes. And it's never like actual things that I want to I don't know what it is. I ruin my left hand And I'm not left-handed. And whenever I write, I destroy my left hand. And I think it's because I use a lot of keyboard shortcuts. Specifically, there's like this one shortcut to that I use to initiate my text to speech because I'm dyslexic, so I use that to reread things. So hitting that constantly, that like destroys my hand. I need to find a simpler way to do that's not as awkward a position because it causes like crazy pain if I'm not paying attention. Whereas like pencil is like whatever, man, just hold it good. You know, use your whole arm or whatever. I went to art school. Not art school, you know what I mean. I went to art class. I remember having to, I remember everyone. I just remember so much. I've been trying to get Ursula to give me less clean pages of 9 point. I want to get like I want them to get messier so that like I can improve so that she doesn't have to do as much. Like if I can work with her messy pencils, then she doesn't have to clean them up and that saves so much time. Does this is this like is this here, this section, like this section here? Do you think this is a fold of her skin or is it more folds of her shirt? I think it's her shirt. I think it might be her shirt because I don't think her. Is it her arm? No, I think it's her arm. Maybe I think it's her arm, but it's like I'm not. It's her shirt. Okay, I I think so. Oh, I'm getting confused by the background. I'm seeing that as part of her shirt, and it's not. It's a long sleeve that's like rolled up. Okay, I'm seeing it. See, I learned the ways of Ursula's messy line art, and we got this. I did destroy my voice yesterday, though. Oh my god, 2 hours of like intense speaking is just like I can't do it. These two are so cute. I love Amy. Amy and Tammy are so cute. Oh my god, is that like a picture of them together? I think that's what that is. Ursula ships these two. She would. All of my comics end up so frickin' sapphic. I don't know what that is. Because the sapphics are the best audience. What is it? Books of Sappho. There's so many AFABs in Avo because Aaron's a trans guy too. That's not really brought up in book 1, but in book 2, it is made clear. I've been considering doing honey walls the same way that I did I'm working on Avo. I was thinking of doing like the easy read version of it. Well, I've been thinking about it because Honey Walls is my one novel that came out in 2019. And it's about a grumpy trans fella. And we love him. We love Ro. I think there are ridiculous similarities between Honey Walls and the Magpie. I think they are ridiculously close. But one is like a wholesome little romp, a wholesome little story about grief, with like magical talking animals made out of socks. And the Magpie is about a horrifying eldritch monster that keeps people locked in a town, and there's all corpses and stuff. But I think there's like weird amounts of similarities between the two of them. I guess it makes sense because I wrote them at the same time. Gotta go to sleep. Thanks for the company. I hope you can color a bit more. Thank you. Thank you for keeping me company. It's a very mutual. It's mutually beneficial. That's the phrase. Dun, dun. For one, they're both set in small towns. Um, one is Cherrywood, the other is Pinewood. Uh, they're both magical towns. Um, secretly, and the people inside them aren't really aware of that fact, except for the main character. Uh, I think I'm specifically like when I'm thinking about like the art for like Honey Walls, like the one thing about Honey Walls is that Ro is able to see the world as it truly is, whereas everyone else is seeing like um everyone else sees things differently than he does, and that's the same as like Amanda as she sees like the true nature of the town. Um whereas Ro is able to see like the talking animals and other storybook creatures. And he's just like, and I think it'd be like a similar kind of like illustrative kind of reveal with like the POV toggling. I think it'd be heckin' cute. I would love it. Have to figure out where to put that on my to-do list. Get up to 34 comics a week. Ugh, I want to listen to music, but my ears hurt. And not because, like, the music is too loud, just the headphones are squishing my ears against my glasses very painfully, so I can't bop to the beats. I have to take them off for a bit. Ugh, my glasses are just digging into my face. I hate glasses. Me. They're so cute. I love the look of glasses. Not enough characters with glasses. I'm gonna be real. I don't think my characters have glasses enough. The only character I can think. Oh, I cannot see chat without my glasses. Do you collect anything interesting? I'm getting more of my eraser collection soon. I also collect Furby, so it's on my mind. I collect skulls. um, I have a collection of skulls. I have a lot of canine skulls. Very cute, but hard to draw. True. The only character I can think of who has glasses is Evan. And he's like the worst character ever. He's my worst character. I guess Ro actually has glasses. If I do Honeywalls as a comic, he has glasses. He's a glasses boy. And so is Claire. Honeywalls is my glasses book. Viren has glasses in Avo. He shouldn't, though. They technically wouldn't exist, but he's a god, so I guess he can have glasses if he wants. Varen. That's so neat. Thank you. I love my skull collection. I had to hide it when my vegan father would visit. I just didn't want to upset him. But it's mostly just like this kind of stuff that gets like thrown out. It's like byproducts of stuff. That's wild. I'm just very empathetic. I don't think he'd want to see that. Do you have a favorite skull? I love my coyote skull. I think it's so cool. I like to chase the dogs with it. I have like a lamb skull that's on my desk. And the dogs are constantly sniffing the air around it. I want to get a fake but like hyper realistic like human skull. I want that. I don't want a real human skull. um Expensive, 1. Creepy, 2. Ethical, 0. Um but I really like I would like to have a nice, very realistic models. The clarification, I'm in tears. If you could ethically source human skulls, I would consider it. If I could like I think it'd be so cool if like that was just the norm, you know, and we could collect skulls. Listen, okay? For one, they really want to chew that skull. For two, it's just really it's fun to go knack with it. It's just very it fits together goodly. Most of my other skulls are like glued shut. I dropped the coyote skull and the binding came loose. And like I know how to do it, like I know how to do it on purpose, but I fear. I fear it. Yeah, I like oddities. I like that kind of stuff. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, my name is Bones, so it was just bound to happen that I would have a skull collection. It is completely unrelated to the fact that I have a skull collection. My fave possession is my limited edition Easter Furby, Bones the Bones Collector. Oh my god. Ursula got me for Christmas. She got me a bunch of she got me a bunch of various penis bones. She fucking lost it. Insane. So I also have that in my collection. I think it's like I have a fox and a raccoon. What's the technical? I forget the technical term. I don't know why it's slipping my mind. Humans are very strange, in the fact that they do not have one of those. It's very common in the animal kingdom. Did you know? Okay, animal fact time. Animal facts. Did you know that outside of primates, the only animal that menstruates is the elephant shrew? Like, menstruation itself is incredibly weird. It's, yeah, it has to do with humans having very high rates of like fetal like defect. So the body can naturally yeet things if things aren't looking good. And us and the elephants. Not elephants, elephant shrews. They're tiny little guys. They're tiny, tiny little guys. Look up elephant shrew. They are adorable. Because most animals go through, well, at least mammals. Yeah, mammals. We'd be talking about mammals, of course. Like, why would any other animal menstruate? Obviously, that's a very placentile mammal kind of attitude. I have heard of them. I love those creatures. Yes. Um, but yeah, most animals go through like estrus, and it's one of my pet peeves. I want to make a writing pet peeves video, and it's just like random bullshit that upsets me. It's my pet peeve where people like equate estrus and periods because they're like completely different. Because most animals they don't shed any lining. Yeah. My other pet peeve, I've thrown this pet peeve into Ursula's corner. Now she feels it, like, and it's the worst because she likes to read historical romance. But I hate when people get pigeons wrong, especially like carrier pigeons. Um, so many people do not understand how pigeons work. Um, because people like in books they always will like just send off a carrier pigeon to someone else, but you can't do that. Carrier pigeons only will return to where they come from. So if you leave somewhere and you bring your pigeons with you and then you can send messages back home, that's all you can do with a pigeon. You can't then take the pigeon and be like, go find my friend. Like, no, pigeons only go to their home. Like, that's the whole thing about pigeons. You don't just send them off willy nilly, and it you learn it and it ruins everything for you. My writing pet peeves have changed as I've grown older, and they've become incredibly pedantic and way more forgiving. Because I've just been looking at comic pet peeves because there was like I forget their name. They're like a big web comic artist on YouTube. They do cast off. that comic. And they did a video like a couple weeks ago that's just been on my mind. Because I've just been thinking about like what are my pet peeves, and like I just don't have the same pet peeves. Because for one, I love the Silmarillion, and having read the Silmarillion has like just changed me as a writer. Like I just no longer care about long prologues. Um, I no longer care. I I read a book that is like essentially nothing but a long prologue, and it is just fascinating, and it's just a bop. I enjoy. I enjoy that stuff. I love an in-depth world building thing. Um, there's ones I do get. Here's my pet peeve. My pet peeve is that, and yeah, the starfish face, yeah, that one. Um, my pet peeve is that people don't consider visually impaired and other like legally blind readers of their comics, um and they scoff at the mere idea of such a thing, when if you just think about it for a few seconds, like it makes sense, and it should be a more common practice to transcript your comics and be more accessible. Yeah, that's the worst. Yeah, because like I don't know, like just put yourself in the shoes of like like blind artists and stuff do exist, and like um visual impairment like can happen very slowly. Like you can slowly um lose that your vision, and like yeah, like they just exist, and it's just silly um to be like, oh well, haha, the blind can't. Like I don't know, it bugs me. It is a weird, it is just like my pet peeve. I like thinking about accessibility. If you use colored bubbles, make sure to run that shit through a color blindness check, to make sure that you make something that's still like legible. There's like academic testing stuff like online that's free that you can use to just run through and make sure that especially your words and text is legible. And then like transcripts help people like me. Like I use transcripts because um I'm dyslexic, and um I used to have the opinion that I don't like really wordy comics, but it has since changed that I'm just dyslexic, and I have a lot of difficulty reading really wordy comics. But if I have access to the actual script and I can use my my text to speech to help me like read it, like I'm fine with a really wordy comic. I it's very difficult for me to parse it, but otherwise like I don't think there's anything actually wrong with a comic that leans more into the territory of novel than it does like comic. Like it's more novel than it is graphic, you know? Like I think that's valid, and I think things like that can free you up as a writer, and as an artist to do a lot more, and I think it's perfectly fine. One of my favorite, like my absolute favorite comics is The Last Unicorn, and it is incredibly wordy because it is an adaptation of a book and it has gorgeous prose, but like, you know, it's intense to look at all the words. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that, you know? I've been fighting Webtoons to incorporate alt text feature for over a year now. That people act like no one would use that on the largest comics platform. Yeah, Lamoon said they're more receptive to text. They said they'd put it on their roadmap, but I don't know why that's been there since they're still in beta. Yeah, yeah. Comic Fury allows it, like Comic Fury does. I have to look into how to make it more accessible, but I know it is possible. Um, and from a purely selfish point of view, like having transcripts is good for like SEO. You know, it's good for searchability too. Um, it's very useful to have that. So you can just like search up a page based on like the sentence and like the words that were said. Um, it just makes things more findable too. Whoa, it's a fly flew past me. Yeah, yeah. I yes, totally. And I want to do it, but I just don't because Comic Fury allows it. I've been like really wanting to sit down and like put my scripts into it, but I currently don't have my scripts because my computer's dead. But otherwise, like I totally want to add the transcripts. I can very easily do it with Avo, since it is just like a novel. But yeah, that would be my pet peeves. Like I have just very specific pet peeves like that. Um yeah. I think accessibility is a good pet peeve to have. Um people and inherently usually people don't understand how blindness works and that there's different types. Yeah, exactly. Um I've been learning a lot about blindness because like I have like a blind character. Um it's interesting how like congenital blindness has shifted, um where it's rarer to be like caused by the eyes themselves. Like most congenital blindness now is cogn is it cognovisual? It's within the brain, and that's for two reasons. One, vaccines. I think it's rubella specifically could cause a blindness in children. Okay, I guess it wouldn't be congenital. I think it's like yeah, blindness in like children. But like vaccines have prevented it, and the fact that children are able to live with brain damage now who would otherwise have not been able um to live, unfortunately. But because of medical investments they have. So I find that really interesting, and learning about um, the that sort of blindness is really interesting. I have a book. I have so many textbooks. I have like the most boring reading list. I have the most autistic reading list. How about that? Um, yeah. Yeah, and I've just been trying to think of like other pet peeves like that. Like there's a lot of like very basic pet peeves that um I think part of it, like when I think about pet peeves, like I don't really engage with a lot of media personally. Um I don't I don't really get into stuff tons, and I don't like to put that on the work itself. Because I don't like the idea of like things having to be tailored to me. So my pet peeves end up being like highly specific things that exist in stuff I am reading. So I think that's what changes it. There's an app you can use to simulate different types of blindness. Yeah, there's a really cool simulation tool for like CVI, because it's so unique in how it works. Um, yeah, but totally, like there's just so much more to it, and I'll do a pet peeve video, and I'll come up with my highly specific uh comic pet peeves. And that would definitely be one of them, is lack of transcripting and lack of care for the visually impaired. Yeah, because I was doing my best. It's hard. It's hard to do it with my YouTube videos, but getting like captions fixed for them. I was doing it for my world building ones because I used so many freaking weird words that are like made up, so I knew it would like really mess up the auto captioning. So like I tried to work with that, but otherwise it is hard to keep up with. I don't think the comic thing is too hard. Like at the very least, putting the dialogue into a transcript is easy. Um, Describing visuals is a little more work you're asking of someone, but it's not like an unreasonable amount. But at the very least, putting in dialogue is good. Yeah. Oh, um, what you know? It's like a pet peeve is like in stories, like in comics, where like the visual style calls for it, allows for it, I guess, and like men are hairy all over, and they got their they got their hairy legs, but then like women who it would make sense that they would in the same situation don't. Like I find that weird, you know? I weirdly appreciate not the book, the movie 50 Shades of Grey for that aspect. Um the later films are terrible about it. If you're writing scripts for the comics, the visual should be described unless you're bad like me. Listen, I don't I don't do it much. I my descriptions, my problem is I is in my descriptions I write to Ursula in a way, and I include a lot of spoilers within stuff, so it takes a bit. I would still have to edit things. Like I include spoilers and like character motivations within stuff, rather than describing the face. Like rather than like describing her face here, like the face she's making, I would like sometimes I just write Amanda, but like other times I just yeah. A lot of times I write haha crowd scene, haha you have to draw it loser, haha. And that's my note, like that's my description, so the double standards, yeah. Also like hairy women are cute. I don't know. I think it's valid. I think hair is good. I I I love a butch lady. I was just thinking about it because like Finch has leg hair in this. I noticed that and I was like, "Oh, that's good. This is something that annoys me." Also, this is adorable. I love little Amanda. She's so cute. What the fuck? Oh, here's my hyperfixation. I on top of like the pigeon thing, just in general, I just like it when people write like anthro or animal characters and like don't like research like some body language things. Specifically, like I don't care about it as much with mammals like whatever, but like with birds, I just hate um the way that bird body language is depicted even in like writing where like they puff up when they're scared or whatever, but like the most adorable thing is when your bird fluffs up, you know? Like if you're a true bird enjoyer, you know they get all like fluffy when they're like comfortable and cute. They go like whoof, they whoof and they do their little foot tuck and it's adorable. But they don't like their little feathers don't stand on end. Like when they're scared, their feathers like flatten. And when they're angry, like some of them like stand up or they could do like some displays and stuff, but like like the general bird body language is just never respected. I hate the centering of mammals just in general. Like it's the worst. Like not everything is mammals. There's like anthropomorphizing, and then there's like mammal pomorphizing, where like everything just act. It's like it's like how like everything is a dog, you know? Like horses behaving as dogs, like that's some people's pet peeves. That's mine with like every animal. With my birds, I like to have them get fluffy when they're flustered. I'm taking fluff scenes literally. I love birds. They're so cute. I just love a little fluffy bird. Oh, I hit my microphone while I was trying to like carve that out. I'm trying to think of more ones like that. Like I just got like little things, little things that rub me the wrong way. I'm just generally like a pretty like accepting guy, you know? Like if it ain't harming anyone, I like don't really get bothered by stuff. Like I guess I could suggest ways to make stories more traditionally engaging, and ways to like help get across what you want to get across. Um, uh, yeah. I think when it comes to like writing really in-depth uh prologues, like that was like one of the bits that was mentioned. I think it has to not has to, but I think it works best when it's consistent, I guess. Because like when I'm thinking about the Silmarillion, right? The beginning is so freaking dense, but the whole thing is dense. Um, so like I don't mind that because it sets the tone, it sets the appropriate expectations. Whereas if you have something that's supposed to be like fast paced and like punchy and stuff, and you slow down at the beginning with like a long prologue, I think that can be an issue. Or if you front load with too much world building information, I think that becomes an issue. Um, but like, I think if you want to write like that, it might be good to look into some nonfiction strategies too. Because I love nonfiction books and they are information dense. And pop nonfiction is great at um, layering in that kind of information narratively and creating a story. So if you're trying to write like that kind of thing, like non, it's like non mock nonfiction fiction. Because I guess Silmarillion reads a lot like folklore and stuff, which makes sense. I have more like pet peeves, which is like the general state of comics rather than things I don't like that. I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting to think about, and I get it. And it is helpful advice. Like, I don't think it's not helpful advice. It's kind of like show don't tell, where I just kind of like balk at these things by this point. Like, I hate the concept of show don't tell. Okay, I don't hate the concept of show don't tell. I hate the phrasing of it. Um, I don't think it's incredibly useful outside of like I don't think it's useful too much in comics. I think in comics, I think it really depends on who you are. Some people need to tell more and some people need to show more. It's very case by case. Um, because my God, I did not tell anything and it becomes a complete mess. And you can't show everything. Not in the same way you can with a novel or prose. There's just so many things like I question, I guess. Like I've been thinking about a lot about third person limited. Like I love writing in third person limited, but like when did that become the thing? Cuz like omniscient POV used to be so much more common. And I love reading like older books with like omniscient POV, and I think it's so cool. And I'd love to like, I love reading that stuff. I think limited is very cool, but like, I don't get why it is the standard. It's interesting. And like I often wonder like what are the writing rules outside of English, you know? Like where does everything fall together? The book Thief was really neat, having death itself narrate the story. Yeah. Yeah, there used to be a lot more like frame story, like framing stories are so neat. Think of things like Lemony Snicket is like that. It's a very punchy narrator. Like I think about it like when writing Honey Walls, like writing it writing like the sections that are written by Rose um about like Oxnard and stuff, like they're first person but omniscient. Um because it's kind of like it's it like talks to the reader because it's similar to like children's books. I looked into like kind of like Winnie the Pooh as like a big inspiration for how that works. But there's lots of like talking to the reader, like addressing them, and I find that that's interesting to do. But I don't know. I don't know. I just get bored. I get bored, man. I get easily bored. Um, I didn't color in the snow, guys. I've been doing that, so I should probably be consistent. I like poetry. Poetry's cool. I don't love the advice of like if you want to be a writer, you have to read lots. Like I don't think you have to read a ton. I think you have to when you do read read in a more like active kind of sense, in a more studying sense, like really focus and take things apart. Become more of an active reader, I think is important, but I don't think the quantity so much matters. I don't love reading books. Um, I wish people would go outside of like their comfort zones more. I feel like everyone should find some poetry they like. That's my take. I think everyone should find poetry they like and some like fancy art. So like an art installation they enjoy. Go to galleries, guys. Become pretentious. Going outside and living life really supplements the stuff you can't get through reading, but that's not always accessible to everyone. Yeah, no. Um that's why I say get into some poetry, man. Poetry is accessible. Like everyone can find some poetry. Like it exists. And if libraries don't exist, there's free stuff online. I'm not even upset with you guys, honestly. This is arguments I'm having in my personal life with people that I'm bringing here. I don't really care if people do. I just find like I know some real hater ass bitches in my real life, and I just don't like I get it. I get like the kind of what is it? Like there's a teeter-totter to it, right? Like I find like commercial fiction can be pretty vapid, but I also think it's very elitist to be like, "Oh, you're writing genre fiction? How vapid?" Like no. Like I think that's silly. Um Genre fiction is very neat. Like memoirs aren't the only valid things. So like I understand cuz like there are people that have to deal with that aspect a lot cuz like when you have a local writing group it's like 50% people, like 80% people writing their memoir. Like it can be a bit tedious. I get that. Um but at the other end like I don't deal with those people much, so like I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I ain't judging people who can't get outside. Like I get it. Um it's hard to get to like a gallery, you know. I just don't think we should stick our noses up at each other. I think okay, I think my real take with poetry is I think people are too scared and too doubtful of their ability to like read and enjoy something. I think they like second guess themselves, and I think um like it's fun to try and engage with like the stuff that you were forced to do in school, but like to do it in a more like active role, if that makes sense. Like actually sitting down and studying things. um find the more obscure art and stuff you wouldn't otherwise. Like, I'm not saying like go read a bunch of Shakespeare or whatever if you like. I don't know. It's like go look at some contemporary stuff. It's actually very good. And just like trust your own emotions with it. I just think that language is actually very beautiful. And it can be like if you can look at like a piece of art and enjoy it and feel emotions about it and like connect it to yourself and think about it, like you're able to do that with poetry. I think it can be fun to just go like online and read people's poems. Like on places like Tumblr and like Reddit, people will tag that kind of stuff, and people would really appreciate you looking at that in the same way that you would other people looking at your art, and you might find some really cool shit. Oh shit. Sugar snap peas. I'm supposed to not be streaming anymore. Thank you for listening to me for as long as you did, regardless of how long that was. Please like the video. That helps me out a lot, and I will see you the next time. I stream on Thursday, and then I am done for the week until Monday. I don't think I'll do Sunday. I might. I didn't do it this week because I did the critique stream and it was just too much, but we'll see. At the very least, I will see you guys tomorrow. So, bye bye bye.